In this video, you will learn how to run a smell test by looking at the requirements and then watching an actual test done. Testing amber by smell is a destructive test. The tested amber is damaged. If you do not damage the amber, you do not conduct a proper test. Let me explain. One of the easiest ways to distinguish Baltic amber from synthetics is to heat it to the point where it smokes and gives off the distinctive smell of succinite. I will quote Eva Wagner Wysecka, Ph.D., from the Technical University of Gdansk. There are very few in the world who have a comparative knowledge or experience with amber as she does, period. She says, Baltic amber has a characteristic scent, which is the key to its initial and most simple identification method. For instance, like applying the tip of a hot needle and checking the scent that the substance emanates. It is easy to tell between the scent of succinite and the smell of synthetic resins. It is important to note that she says succinite and she talks about an initial test. The distinctive smell of succinite is not the smell of pine. It is the odor given off by a resin created over 200 million years ago by a European conifer. The resin created by the ancient European conifer is different than that created by the modern-day pine. Unheated amber does not smell like pine. Heated amber does not smell like pine. In fact, unheated amber does not smell. Heated amber smells like succinite smells when it's heated. Amber experts who test amber every day know the smell of succinite, but people doing home testing simply do not know that smell. So how can you find out what succinite smells like? You do what you're supposed to do when you run a test. You have a control. In other words, you compare to a known entity. You compare your sample to a piece of amber that you know is in fact amber. You need a piece of genuine amber to run your test. If you do not have such a piece of amber, you cannot properly test your amber sample. And another point must be made. You must damage your amber to run this test. You must melt some of it by sticking a hot needle into it. The amber must get so hot that it smokes. No damage, no smoke, no test. Now let's watch one of the world's experts testing amber by performing what's commonly known as the smell test. What you will see in the next clips is the woman who is probably the most experienced in amber testing and one of the most knowledgeable Baltic amber experts in the world, Gabriela Gerlowska. The location is the Amber Laboratory booth at the annual Amber Mart Fair, Gdansk, Poland, in the year 2014. The booth has a large display of fake amber and provides free services to show attendees. Ms. Gerlowska runs tests for and gives advice to attendees to the Amber Fair. She manages the Amber Laboratory booth every year. Note that the pictures are shaky because they are real-time, unstaged test situations at the booth, and I had behind me a group that was pushing and shoving, but you can see what is going on. In the first clip, you will see Ms. Gerlowska training one of her assistants on how to run the smell test. You will note in the clips that she does not just smell the amber to see if it smells like pine. It does not smell like pine. It does not smell until it is heated, and then it smells like succinite. She uses an electric portable soldering iron with a sharp tip to heat the amber to the point where it smokes. Once it smokes, she then smells it to see if it smells like succinite. Being the expert that she knows the smell of succinite, and she can quickly distinguish whether the amber is succinate or synthetic. In the second and third clips, she's doing more tests for show attendees. Note how many times she goes back to test the amber in the third clip. She gave that visitor the bad news. His product was not Baltic amber. If you are going to run a smell test, you must do it like she does. Heat a nail or pen and insert it into your amber to create smoke. Smell that smoke. Then heat that nail again and stick it into a piece of amber that you know is true amber. Smell that smoke and compare. To be a little bit more sure, you can stick that heated nail into a piece of plastic or other synthetic and smell that smoke and compare. If you are going to smell test amber, do it exactly the way the expert that you have watched does it. I hope that you found this video tutorial useful. If you want to follow along with us as we produce more videos, just click on the subscribe button that you see in this end screen. I would also appreciate it if you click the like button below. Questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos are requested. Just add them in the comment section below, and I will respond. I'd love to hear from anyone who watches this video. Until next time, I will just say goodbye and good living. And be sure to check out the other videos in the playlist in this end screen.